Hello everyone, I am Renown Zero, and ISOM number 3 is underway. The campaign is of course going to be a 75-day campaign, going with the old style of collections where it has a longer duration for the campaign as well as milestones, starting at the $500,000 mark, currently sitting at $296,764 as of 3 days into this campaign, with a $300,000 sales goal at 4,719 total books sold. Now, of course, I have put in my order. I got the book pack and some shirts, as well as the Rippaverse number 3 in a separate order. But not everyone is so happy about that. Not everyone is celebrating this. Of course, it's the usual detractors and haters, of course, as always, literally looking for any reason to nitpick something that they disagree with or dislike simply because it exists, or simply because it exists from a person that they don't like, that pays no attention to them whatsoever. So it was just over 3 hours that the collection hit 100K, according to Bruce. Shout out to Bruce. But they also have the Great War of Separation. 4 days left to go, hitting 8,124 total books sold so far, almost hitting that $200,000 mark. I'm sure it'll hit that because it is written by the legendary Chuck Dixon and drawn by Jack Herbert. We also have the Rippaverse number 3 pre-order collection at 18 days left to go, with 67,270 in total sales and 2,905 books sold. Now remember, again, as I always say, this is not a full comic book. This is, of course, a magazine with previews of ISOM number 3 and the Great War Separation number 1. And of course, a short story with the Dirty Deeds crew written by Carol Brown. So, like I said, I put in my order after getting some help from the support team over at the Rippaverse. I was able to get my awesome membership, including my free Rippaverse, free shipping, and merchandise discounts. Thank you to Eric July for the quick response to my inquiry about my membership. I'm looking forward to reading about the Dirty Deeds team, written by Carol Brown, in the Rippaverse number 3. I'm also looking forward to reading what I'm sure will be an epic conclusion to the ill-advised arc with ISOM number 3. I need that full line of statues from Iron Studios for sure, and of course the Eric sketch. So we got the full line of statues at 1.5 million for a milestone, and 2 million, of course, the Eric sketch that's been a running joke for quite some time. So I got my Rippaverse number 3. I got my exclusive edition. This is, of course, my separate order. And then I got my book pack. I got all 4 covers, the art of Cliff Richards. So you're getting the 4 covers. You get the art book for free. And, of course, I got the Business. Great job there. And the ISOM versus Devlin shirt. And, of course, I got the ISOM versus Fontano poster with all my discounts. And, then, like I said, the milestones. But it seems like certain Juju the Cows and certain Black Anuses are all butthurt, and you also have the Smug Davises, the elitists of the world, who are, in my opinion, washed up comic pros at this point because all they do is talk about drama, and it seems like all they want to do is not work on their own stuff and create new projects. So, of course, good old Juju the Cow over here saying he spent $300 on 4 comic books. It's only $200, by the way. Like, we stop exaggerating, my guy. And he can barely afford rent, says lives in filth. It's sad. The only people left buying this culture war trash are mentally ill. I mean, your audience is mentally ill. You support a guy who is so beta that he loves to wear a cow suit and get pegged. I mean, this is a guy who claims he's an alpha, right? He'll make these claims allegedly that he's an alpha, and he gets all these women, but yet he'll sit there and be a furry who likes to wear a cow suit and get pegged. It's a running joke. It's never going to stop being a running joke, ever. Eric July's comics are slop. People who are mentally ill and live in filth and squalor pay $60 a pop to hoard them. Buddy, calm down. The only comic that was $100 was ISOM number 2 cover C. Since then, nothing's ever gone anywhere close to that. But they have gone down to $13 for Yara number 2. Pick that up if you haven't already. Pay pig has never been more accurate. Because, of course, it's Eric responding to someone calling me a pay pig for simply being an adult and spending my money on what I want. We live in a weird world where adults can't spend their money on what they want without some weirdo online trying to judge you or shame you. Where Eric says, my customers aren't pay pigs. This is why we work hard to actually provide content for them to read instead of treating them like a simple hobby. We're treating this like a simple hobby. We appreciate them, and I don't think it's fair to insult the intellect of our wonderful customers. Yeah, to which I respond, you've never read ISOM number 1 or any comics for that matter. You're the same guy who said comic books are for losers. It doesn't matter, Sean. You can hear the tears slap his phone as he's typing this. We got it all right here, by the way. Here you go.
Telling me about the dry sand effect? I don't care if people buy the comic or pirate it. I don't care if people read it.
Dry sand effect.
Yeah, shut the up. I don't care if I'm helping the marketing for this book. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Sorry. Because I'm not jealous of the money. I don't care about the money. Do you understand that all this shit I do is for the art of it? Do you think I wrote a book saying all women are to make money? It's the art that's important, you stupid mother.
So you do love art.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
That's all you are. Just coping and seething and having those tears, those salty tears, slap your phone as you type away. Comic books are also for winter Sturgis, just not Eric's. You don't read comics. Your fat boy admitted PDF file said he doesn't read comics either. He doesn't read American comics either. Yet he's trying to write a comic for Americans. This can't be right. That's it. As you go through the day coping and seething over the money being made for ISOM 3, as you can't even get anywhere close to this with your Patreon for as long as you've been doing it. Got Black Anus. I wonder how Renowned Zeros argues this as a win. I'm just like, easy, it's not the current number. Try again. Let's see what the competition looks like. Oh, $305? That's it? In a year? That's you, by the way. You with the $305 in a year with posters illustrated by a convicted PDF file, by the way. $17K a month? That's it? From, of course, good old Juju the Cow on his Patreon. Rookie numbers. For a guy who's been doing this monetized for as long as he has, that's all you can manage? It's pathetic. This would be an argument if I promoted buying my merch as hashtag we will win, or if I had the famine mentality of Eric. I mean, yeah, people are taking back the culture. That's what the "we will win" is. It's a catchphrase, and yet you're using it on your bio as a troll. But you literally named yourself the God's chosen Rippaverse detractor. God doesn't choose retards to do anything. I'm sorry, but he doesn't. I was like, it works either way. Your PDF file created poster don't sell for crap. A product you commissioned made $305 in a year. Keep coping, by the way. Spin it in any way you need to because you presented a lie from a locale who gets pegged while wearing a cow suit. I guess you furries need to stick together because you love being about that bull crap, which, by the way, my YouTube channel is more successful than yours, and I've been doing it consistently for, what, a year and a half? Wow, this is an abysmal failure. You should have listened to me, Eric. You should have learned how to craft a story, make good storytelling your brand, not being black and look how much money I'm making. But remember,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
You just remember, it doesn't matter. Remember? It doesn't matter. Well, you know what really is an abysmal failure? This is what failure looks like. You've been doing this for what, 10 plus years, and all you could amount to is $17K a month? It's been what, 2.5 days? All day you've been crying about Eric and he's made more money than you have daily. This is insane amounts of cope. Here it is. Look, it's even gone down $30 since I posted that image, which was yesterday. Also, this video says a lot about your actual failure. You should go watch this over on the Kino Casino Clips channel. I'll put a link to it below in the description. You also have just one more thing I want to clown you on. You said, why did Kanan draw a sad Carl Weathers? The person who drew this cover is Jack Herbert. Like, these guys don't even take even 2 seconds to do any research. They'll just say whatever pops in their brain because they have nothing more than 2 brain cells to rub together to figure out what they can say today. This is Kanan White, bro. This, to me at least, in my opinion, this cover is a lot better. It's actually the cover I love the most out of all the covers here. And of course, I'll get to continue having a complete Kanan White cover set, as I did get the Blood Roof #1 Kanan White cover. But then you also have fat, overweight, out of shape individuals like, I don't know, Riley, the guy who's still running around saying as well, as if he didn't just spend tens of thousands of dollars that he had to crowdfund, which is fine, don't get me wrong. Legal fees cost a lot, but don't be running around still acting like you're top dog or top, because, I mean, you're not. You're a loser. You've even said, I am chronically unhappy, you loser. That's you. That's you telling people that you're chronically unhappy, because you are. But then you have other people who are actually publishing stuff or publishing nothing, because you want to sit here and cry about what Eric does. Meanwhile, you have nothing to show for it. It's always a creator who literally has nothing going on, who's complaining about Amazon on his Twitter posts, saying, oh my god, you're a needy little B-word. How about I send you a photo of me throat gagging your mom? No, he just effed up the page count and then says it's a creative choice as a cope to try and con you effing mouth breathers. Bruh, he didn't mess up the page count. You don't have the book. Shut the f up. You don't have the book. I literally have the book. At least I have the book and I can check the page count, and I did. It's still 96 pages at the end of the day. The page count is 96 pages because, you know, I actually own the book. By the way, Blood Roof was written by the awesome Twisted Twins. Pick one up today. And then I linked the Blood Roof comic there. And they even responded. Hilarious how that works, right? But again, here's your Twitter saying, I'm really frustrated about the Amazon pricing model. I don't want people to have to pay to read something good. I need a better solution. So every book costs $11 to print right now on Amazon. Wants another 11 themselves, but that means without me even taking a cut, the book is already $22 out the gate. It's funny how that works. Sucks you want to be a crybaby and can't use Rippaverse. Oh, but they want to cry about, you know, Yaira being $13, you know, because of those awesome printing deals that you can get over there. But then you have Smug Davis, the elitist, saying, if you happen to print your book pages out of order, which never happened, except with Liam Gray, consider not burning up your customer shipping money shipping the bad printing. Again, you're lying. Everyone in this comment section is lying, by the way, who's not someone that supports me like this person here. I'm saying it wasn't a misprint or out of order, unlike Liam Gray's books. You're just outright lying. If you were really concerned about an out of order printed book, why don't you go say that to Liam Gray, who's literally had customers talk about how his books are printed out of order? The book wasn't printed out of order. I refuse to believe that you don't know what you're saying is BS. You're just being a good little soldier because nobody's actually this stupid. I mean, you are. You're the same clown that recently said that if ISOM 3 doesn't make $1 million, it's over. Oh, don't worry. We'll read your tweets too. By the way, I can't believe I always have to do this, where I have to literally show people the definition of words because words lose all meaning when it comes to on Twitter. It says to print incorrectly or an error in printing. An error in printing would be that it's supposed to be a certain way and then it gets printed out of order. It's not the person, the editor-in-chief, saying, I made a creative decision to change the way this is printed and then send it out and print the book. That's not what misprints are. Don't worry, we'll get into the video they're crying about, which is right here.
What's up, y'all? It's Eric July with Rippaverse Comics, and I may have screwed up just a little bit. You know how things, they play out in your mind and you want to experiment, and then when you see it kind of coming to fruition, it doesn't quite look like you may have intended. This might have happened with Blood Roof #1, which is shipping right now to all of you customers. Now, this scene I'm going to show you guys real quick. You first saw it with the original previews for Blood Roof #1, I believe, when we first announced it. Now, how the Saskas did it, they originally planned for it to be this double page, like spread, like splash page or what have you. And
they probably really think that Eric July went behind their back to change the way the format is.
I was looking at it, especially with the black and white, which I do believe it still plays out a little better than in the black and white than it does with the color. What if we go for this like more cinematic look? As if you can imagine sort of the camera like panning, right? You see one part of it and then you see the other side as it slowly pans, let's say from left to right or what have you. So you see this demon here, right? And he's doing what he does here. Now again, I'm thinking this is gonna play out cinematically. It's gonna look real cool because the next page, you get the full reveal, right? But it's still of the same scene.
I'm just gonna say it right away. It works. It still works. Because, you know, minor spoilers, yes, minor spoilers. The first thing that happens, of course, is they're on the bottom here, you know, he's dancing with the chick right there. And then it just happens to be, oh yeah, one arm comes off, right? One arm comes off. And then the next page, oh, the other arm comes off. It gives it a more cinematic feel, in my opinion. Yes, it still works. Unfortunately, haters that are probably going to watch this, yeah, it still works, at least in my opinion. Because again, art is subjective, which is a thing that I really stress on this channel when it comes to talking about Rippaverse comics against the haters. Art is subjective. You have every right to not like the books, but don't sit there and try to go to Rippaverse fans, people that are fans of this product, and try to tell them that they're stupid or slow for liking it and questioning what they like. As much as I don't like things like The Last Jedi, I think it's a pile of dog water, I'm still not going to go to somebody and say, oh, they can't enjoy that. Go ahead, enjoy your movie. In my opinion, it's trash because I know Star Wars lore and why it's trash.
After looking at it, especially the color version of it, I'm like, I don't know if it may have landed the way that I thought. I don't know. Maybe some of you like it. Of course, let me know once you do get your books. But I wanted to just let you know, look, that's on me. I was experimenting. Maybe it didn't land that well. Nonetheless, I appreciate you guys so much for being customers of the Rippaverse. And please do your reviews for Bloodroof #1 as soon as you...
So yeah, that's all it was. A creative decision for him to change that scene. So much controversy. I don't understand it at all. But yeah, let's go ahead and read your tweets, Jax Blaster, since you want to sit here and say some dumb... Don't worry, this level of detracting won't last much longer. Yes, it will. These guys have literally been doing it for 2+ years over every single thing that's been released. And it's the only way they gain relevance or any clout. The ISOM 3 launch has confirmed what everyone who is not mentally ill has known for quite some time. Literally nothing. Their own imagination. It's not confirmed of anything besides your imagination. That there are just a few thousand customers left, even though each book since Gooding has sold 10,000. Okay, cool. Early Comicsgate levels, really. So you bring up Comicsgate levels, you bring up CG sales numbers. And all books are now just doing what are essentially really good CG sales numbers. Meanwhile, no CG book in recent years have sold 10,000 books. The days of $1 million campaigns are over. Again, Eric has said in the past he doesn't expect every campaign to hit $1 million. That would be unrealistic. And it is. It's 100% unrealistic. But if he's putting out more product and more books more often, they add up to millions of dollars. So it's essentially the same thing. Any delusions of Rippaverse being a transformative and growing company are now dead. Meanwhile, they've collaborated with McFarlane and Iron Studios, two of arguably the biggest toy/statue makers around, since McFarlane's been doing it for 4 decades, or probably over 4 decades. It's just a tiny and completely irrelevant company selling bad comics to the same 2,000 to 5,000 customers over and over again. That's literally what Marvel and DC and all of them do. They sell comics, by the way. Again, bad being an opinion, not a fact. I continue to say this as well. It's your opinion that the comics are bad. Congratulations. Once the detractor glee from seeing the ISOM tentpole IP go from multi-million-dollar campaigns to what could wind up being a sub-$700,000 campaign ends, most people will stop. I doubt that. That will leave you hardcore autistic fanboys to jack each other off and lick genitalia in peace. See, and it always goes down to the lowest common denominator where they continue to express their homoerotic fantasies about other people, just simply enjoying comic books. The funny thing is, people have criticized all of his books. The people that they call Rippatards, you know, because I'm called that, even though I've criticized multiple things. So then the definition, the fake definition, doesn't apply to me or literally anybody. It's astounding to me that this is what it always devolves into. Homoerotic garbage. To which I say to you, if the campaign ends around 700k, which I highly doubt, which it's about to hit 300k in less than 4 days. If the campaign ends around 700k, which I highly doubt, I still fail to see why it matters to people who are brokies and contribute nothing to society. Because again, these are the same people who are crying about ISOM #1 being too expensive. For a book with 96 pages and then 116 pages, and now the most recent iteration is 144 pages. Does this change the fans' minds on the Rippaverse? No. By the way, also forgot to mention Angel Studios collaboration that they seem to not care about, but yet they keep crying about it happening. A few thousand customers left? Literally no. The massive levels of projection from new CG bots are hilarious. So you shifted the goalpost from this to a bunch of fans will still be happy with their purchases? How is this a win exactly? Detractors and haters are still going to continue to be salty. Y'all are still going to have tears slapping your phone as the Rippaverse continues to win. You will still be a little nobody to society. There isn't a single CG book doing the same numbers as any campaign from the Rippaverse. No CG book has sold 10k books since Cyberfrog 2 sold 19k, and Alpha Core #1 sold 22,331 books during its campaign, which, again, the books continue to sell after the campaign's end, which is what these clowns always use as a justification to try to assume that the Rippaverse is failing, even though they don't know all the financials of the company or how much everything costs as far as overhead, which I don't understand why you're so concerned about another man's pockets like a feminine. EVS can't even make $1 million on his campaigns, and he hasn't even finished delivering product from a Cyberfrog 2 campaign that opened in 2019. These are verifiable facts. Because what you said originally was, if ISOM 3 does less than $1 million, it's over. Eric July has coasted for 3 years now on perceived success from his first 2 campaigns. Griggs and Neurotic seem to be over it. Everybody else is a clout-chasing vulture, even though Jeremy's still praising Eric for being successful. If there's no more clout, they'll abandon him immediately, even though Eric July has been on Tuesday night's main event before the Rippaverse launched. Like, what are you talking about, my guy? They've had Mario Kart streams before the Rippaverse launched. What are you even talking about? Eric has been on Friday Night Tights before the Rippaverse launched. Like, what are we talking about here? But then you go on to say, sir, you're mentally ill. When someone says to you, you say, his proven facts are about nothing. I didn't even say and don't care about. You're the one that brought up. Remember, you're the one that brought up CG. You're the one that brought up Comicscape. So I literally told you, CG isn't selling the same amount of books as the Rippaverse campaigns have been. So for you to sit there and say what I said you don't care about, you clearly cared about it because you brought it up first. When I said the Rippaverse is done, I don't mean literally over. I mean the facade of relevance and perceived prestige it had is done. Meanwhile, it's advertising everywhere and he's pulled customers from multiple social media platforms, but okay, sure. It's just an irrelevant tiny company selling bad comic books to the same shrinking audience over and over. Again, they get new people all the time. It's not a shrinking audience. And again, bad comic books is your opinion. It's not a fact. You keep passing it off as a fact even though you're verifiably wrong because you're... You want to call the people mentally ill, yet you keep saying the same bullshit all day, every day. That's incorrect. The delusions that it was going to be anything more than that are dead. The never-ending ball-washing of Eric July by those in YouTube spirit is going to come to an end. His self-importance and ego no longer match the reality of the situation. What ego, my guy? Eric doesn't acknowledge you. Eric doesn't acknowledge EVS. Eric doesn't acknowledge anybody. Like, what ego, bro? He's not sitting there saying, I make the best comic books out there. He's saying, I make comic books for people who want to read comics again, who want to have fun again. That's not ego, my guy. The only person that's spewing ego bullshit is EVS. So, of course, you are, in fact, a new CG bot projecting as usual. And I say, watching all these clowns coping over the Rippaverse selling quality product to fans and getting it to them in a reasonable time frame is feminine energy. They spend way too much time hating on people having fun and enjoy the products they bought. They have way too much time on their hands, and they are as vapid as they come. None of them care about comics, they never read comics, and they don't buy them. They choose to spend their time defending a person who claims someone is doing something when it's all projection coming from them. Exposing the hypocrisy is what I do and what I enjoy doing. I will continue to do it for as long as I am able and willing to do so. Calling out lies, also, isn't simping. Calling out lies is just calling out lies. If you want to sit there and believe a lie, you're just as big of a piece of shit as they are, as the person telling the lie. I don't have to lie about shit. I may misremember something, but I don't have to lie when I present the facts and evidence, and I do the research. So, at the end of the day, the continued success of the Rippaverse is going to make these guys melt down and produce salty tears. And I'll be here to collect all of the salty tears for as long as you want to keep producing them. Thank you all for checking out this video. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, and returning viewers. If you do like this video, hit that like button. Comment below if you feel about this. Subscribe for more content. Hit the bell for notifications. Set the bell to all. That way you'll get a notification anytime I post a new video or go live on the channel. Be sure to hit the join button down below if you want to become a member of the channel for just $1 a month. You get access to members only content and live stream emojis during live streams. And it really does go a long way to helping the channel grow. If you can't spare the buck, that's okay too. I do appreciate you watching the videos and jumping in on live streams. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.